Hi there, my name is Ryan Morgan. I'm a senior at Texas Tech. I've got my Tech shirt on. Hopefully, today is my last day of wearing this Tech shirt as a student, and I will be an alumni. But for my oral presentation for my senior thesis, I chose the topic of uh, the legality of AR-15s in the United States. I feel like it's a pretty controversial subject. Right now, the political environment, we're pretty much torn in half on it. The Democrats' uh, overview on them is that they are bad and only used for mass murder, and the Republicans don't like any kind of gun reform, so they're very pro AR 15. Um, I actually chose politics as one of the disciplines for my interdisciplinary perspective when addressing the problem. The other two disciplines that I chose were business and criminal justice. I felt like those were the three best disciplines for the subject. But the reason that AR-15s are so controversial right now are because mass shootings, especially in schools and churches here within the last two presidencies, there's been quite a few, and with social media, they get more publicity than they have in the past. But really, there's some misconceptions when it comes to AR-15s and mass shootings because most everybody thinks that that's the weapon of choice for mass shooters, but in reality, they did from a criminal justice point of view, they did a analysis of 280 mass shootings, and only 26% of them were used by an AR-15. And but the thing is out of those 26% of shootings, more people were killed and more people were injured, and that's due to the efficiency of the AR-15. That's high capacity magazines and very lethal 223 ammunition. From a business point of view, AR-15s, they're really good for business. The gun industry is a $28 billion industry according to Forbes, and they produce over 26,000 jobs alone. Not AR-15s, but the shooting industry alone produces over 26,000 jobs in Texas alone. So countrywide, it's a massive industry. And AR-15s are a staple item in that industry, along with AR-15 accessories such as 30-round magazines and ammunition like 223 and optics and all sorts of stuff. Drives a lot of sales. So from a business point of view, companies market AR-15s. They're marketing them towards children, women, new shooters in the industry. Just try to get more market share. So you've got three different approaches when looking at whether AR-15 should be legal or not in the United States. Business point of view, short-term overview is that they want to keep them around because business is all about gaining profit. From a criminal justice point of view, the statistics show that AR-15s are more lethal than other firearms, so it tends to lean towards trying to reform the AR-15, not necessarily ban it, but try to make it less lethal. And then from politicians' perspective, it depends on what you're looking at. If you're looking at the left or the right, one side really likes them, and then the other side hates them, and they don't seem to really find common ground very well because, like Republicans, they're in the pocket of the NRA, which is the largest gun advocacy group in the United States, and they pay politicians to turn down legislation that's for gun reform, and that's any gun reform. Even though the NRA used to support gun reform, they've become more extreme in the past several years, which has hurt the interdisciplinary problem of the AR-15, or the complex problem. So, from a political standpoint, in order to find some common ground, there's going to have to be some sacrifice from both political parties. But the solution to the problem that I've calculated that appeases all three disciplines and comes out better for society as a whole, America as a whole, is to make all states. You can't have an AR-15 that can shoot a magazine that's over 10 rounds. There's a few states that already have these laws, like California, Massachusetts, and New York, but in pretty much every other state, like Texas, they laugh at 10-round magazines just, because you can get 30 rounders, 40 rounders, you can get 100 rounders. Like in the Vegas shooting, that guy was using 100-round magazines. But I think the solution of making manufacturers of the AR-15s have a bullet button on all the guns, which prevents them from being able to use a 30-round magazine, and then banning magazines that are over 10 rounds. I know we're not going to be able to confiscate all the 30-round mags and guns that can shoot them. There's just far too many out there, and then that's going to cause a problem in itself, trying to take people's guns away from them. But studies have shown that new legislation on firearms, like the assault weapons ban of 1994, does lower mass shootings with those types of weapons. So from a business point of view, 10-round mags, you're still going to sell a ton of them. You're still going to have the opportunity to sell AR-15s, increase profit, provide jobs. From a political view, you got both sides sacrificing a little bit to create a benefit for the common good, which is the people, which that's who they're supposed to stand for. For criminal justice, they're going to be happy there because the statistics show that AR-15s are only used in 26% of crimes or mass shootings, but they're more lethal. So making your shooters have a 10-round magazine, they're going to have to reload clips, which gives time for people to attack them and prevent more casualties. Overall, mass shootings is a problem on its own, but the AR-15 is not the only culprit. There's a lot of other problems like mental illness, pistols, handguns, single-shot guns. You're not going to be able to take those away from citizens because of the Second Amendment protects that. But I think starting with limiting AR-15s to shooting 10-round magazines is a good start. You can do a 10-year legislation on that and check the sample size. And if shootings with the AR-15 stay at a steady rate, then something else needs to be done. And I think this is a good place to start from an interdisciplinary point of view. Thank you.